In the past 5 years, I got everything in my life because I focused on learning skills. I got my first internship, I got my first freelance client, I built my whole 25-person agency, I wrote books, I went on and did 40 seminars, all because I acquired skills that helped me throughout the last 5 years. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 skills that you can start learning in 2025 and have the best year of your life. Make sure you watch till the end. I'm going to show what the skill is, how can you start learning it, and what can it reap for you in your career if you are an 18-year-old or getting started in your career. Hit the like button and subscribe, and let's talk about the first and the most important skill which I think everyone should learn in 2025, and that is digital marketing. The last 5 years of my career has all been about learning how social media works, figuring out how can I work with businesses and help them build their online presence, and then selling it as a service to companies around the world. I've gone to San Francisco, I've gone to New York, I've gone to Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, and I've pitched this service of handling social media and building campaigns to businesses around the globe, and everyone wants to be online, and that is where the biggest opportunity lies of 2025, helping more and more businesses to grow their presence online, and that's what digital marketing is all about. Now, digital marketing is a broad umbrella of field which has multiple different sections and segments. The first one being social media, you have e-commerce, you have landing pages, you are running ads for companies, you are doing UGC campaigns for companies, you're doing influencer marketing for them, but ultimately the goal for you as a marketer is to work with businesses and help them get online and get to their customer faster. The secret to learning digital marketing in 2025 is to pick one domain and master it well. Do it really well. I have mastered YouTube marketing for companies, and that's all that we offer. We work with businesses and we help them grow on YouTube. That's all we do. You could be someone who works with businesses and helps them with video marketing, helps them with creating teasers and launch videos, helps them with their e-commerce landing pages, helps them out with their Facebook advertising, helps them out with very particular UGC marketing. It could be anything, but just pick one segment and go all in with it. It could also be SEO for that matter. That's super important. I recently went to San Francisco and I met people who are literally focusing all day long on how can they optimize their website so that when someone searches for something on ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude, their website ranks on the top when the references are used by these AI chatbots. This is a new umbrella of SEO marketing, which is all about optimizing the website for the AI chatbots to rank you in the references so that you get more clicks. That is the new industry that people are focusing on. People ask me, how do I get the experience? Go and get an internship. Work under someone. Work under normally a startup, someone who is around your locality, maybe a small business owner, and just help them out to figure out how can you get their brand in front of more eyeballs, in front of more people. And you learn so much in this whole process. I got my first internship as a Facebook ads manager. So all day long, I would sit in front of Photoshop and Canva, create those ads, images, and then post them and run campaigns around them for the company that I was working in as an intern. And that was a great experience. I learned so much. I just used to Google up stuff that, how does Facebook ads work? What are the relevant KPIs I should focus on? What does ROAS mean? What does CPC mean? What does CPL mean? There were so many interesting things that I learned in just a very short span of time. And that helped me get started in my field of digital marketing and eventually start my own company. So that is essentially how you do it. That is the whole roadmap. Get an internship, learn by just Googling stuff, and figure out fields which no one else is targeting, and that is the new and upcoming part that you will get paid for. But there are ample of people who are average in this field. If you can create enough testimonials and case studies for the brands that you work with, you will definitely find clients. I've made a separate video about marketing and digital marketing in general, so go watch that if you have not already. But this is an exceptional field. I've seen people make lakhs and crores of rupees just focusing on digital marketing. And 2025 could be the year where you start making your first 10,000 rupees a month as a digital marketer by just working under someone as an intern. Get started, with a small amount, keep learning, and then keep leveling up the people that you work with and start building testimonials and case studies like I just said before. Now, in order to thrive as a digital marketer, you need to learn the art of advertising. But in today's scenario, the traditional data-driven advertising methods just don't work. And that is where this report from HubSpot comes in. In collaboration with Google, this in-depth guide covers insights from over 1,200 marketing professionals on how to design effective advertising campaigns. This report emphasizes the importance of using first-party data for better understanding of your customers, increasing trust, and personalizing the campaigns. It's the data that your business collects directly from your customers with their consent, like email addresses, phone numbers, and personal interests. In fact, marketers who use first-party data are 225% more likely to outperform goals than those who don't. The report further delves into the challenges of gathering first-party data, how marketers are planning to adapt to change, and the necessity of a single integrated tool. If you're really passionate about this field, this report is a no-brainer, and you can download it for absolutely free using the link in the description. So check out this insightful report by HubSpot in collaboration with Google, and now let's move on to the next skill. All right, a change of scenery. Now, the second skill you should focus on is so important. You know, in a world full of people who have short attention spans, shorter than a goldfish, because they've been consuming so much short content, is your ability to learn to think clearly. That is the second skill you should focus on. I'm not talking about learning to speak properly, learning to write concise messages. I'm just focusing on first, think clearly. Even before you do any of this, you need to be better at how can you think effectively, break down anything that you want to say or write into structures so that you can communicate with clarity, right? When it is clear in your brain, you can effectively speak it out and write it out wherever you want to. You don't have to memorize anything because it's so clear in your head. That is how it works. I have not made a script for this whole video that I'm writing. It's all in my head. It's clear like crystal for me so that I'm able to condense it for you in this video. It starts with first breaking down anything that you want to talk about or write into multiple steps. Do that and then learn how to explain it in the most simple words possible. Every sentence that you speak or write should not be more than 5 to 8 words. And it's insane how back in 2019, when I first started making videos, it was so hard for me to communicate because I had so much going on in my head and I was not able to pen it down on a piece of paper. And it only gets better with time. The more books you read, the more movies you watch, the more extempore you do, the more improv you do, the better you get. I have done 40 college events, and because of that, I was able to come to the stage without a script, with just a few slides, and speak out what I wanted to say without having to look at anything. I've done 2-3 TEDx speeches so far, and it was all because I was concise and clear in my head before I even spoke it out. A great practice you can do to get better at communicating and thinking clearly is to start writing a daily diary. So all you have to do is to go through your human experience of attending college, going to do your job, meeting people, going for events, having a great time, but come back and before you sleep, just write down a diary entry. It could be you having a physical diary. It could also be you just using Notion or mem.ai or just using Apple Notes or Google Keep or Google Docs, and just write down what is it that you did today? What did you notice today about people that were around you? And just do that. You will get exceptionally better at observing your surroundings and the people around you. And I think that's really important because all the great insights come by just plainly observing what's happening around you. I sit down in extremely busy places and just observe what people are doing. Why are they behaving the way that they are? And what can I take away from this particular lesson? That's all that I need to come up with my next $1 million idea. Just take out 15 minutes at the end of your day and write it out, and you will be much better off in your ability to think clearly. You know, sometimes it also happens that you are so distracted with everything around you that you're not able to think. And that is why the best thing you can do is to organize your life, right? Make it as seamless as possible for you to think less, for you to make less choices, for you to have less clutter around you. And when you do that, you get amazingly better at doing the few things that you have to do yourself. You can do anything you want 10x faster if you just learn to think clearly. Talking about the third skill you can learn, and that has to be meta learning or learning how to learn. In 2025, there is no one skill which you should focus on. It is Actually, the ability to learn anything quickly, that is the most important. Most people that I've seen go to a college, do a degree, work their ass off for 4 years, only to then enter the job market and realize they are irrelevant. They're a digital dinosaur by the end of the 4 years that they've spent learning that particular skill. So you, my friend, need to focus on learning how to learn. Most people suck at it. I have seen 18-year-olds who can quickly level up and learn skills in weeks. And I know 18-year-olds who cannot even focus on one thing properly. The only difference between both of them is one excels at learning and the growth mindset while the other does not. Why? Because they don't understand how does learning really happen from scratch. I believe learning how to learn is the most important skill you can learn in this decade. All you need is an internet connection, a laptop, and a curiosity and hunger to learn and ask questions. It's getting easier than ever to learn anything you want using apps like ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity. All you need is to start asking questions. Just say, hey, I know nothing about X, that skill that you want to learn. Think of me as a beginner. Give me the list of things I need to learn to master this particular topic, explain everything to me one by one, and then ask questions to me, identify my mistakes, and give me more examples so that I can understand one particular topic clearly and then move on to the next topic. So that particular prompt will create the entire learning environment for you on ChatGPT or Claude, and then you can start actually learning anything that you want. I think my greatest accomplishment is not hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube. It's not writing 2 books. It's not doing 40 seminars in colleges. It's just being able to learn multiple skills when I was 18 and 19. In that period of time, while most people were partying outside and wasting their precious hours and time, I was heads down focusing on learning multiple skills. I learned everything from Python, machine learning, branding, design. I learned about social media marketing. I learned about podcasting and how that works. How does YouTube really operate? I learned everything that I got curious about and I put my brain to it. We've entered an era where your skills matter more than your degrees, and that's always been my motto. If you can learn a skill, you can get a job for that without you having a master's degree for that skill. It's all because you've learned a skill, you've shown your prowess by building multiple projects, and you're able to build in public and showcase yourself and your personal brand online. That's all that matters. And you will be shocked by the number of people who would want to give you a job in that particular field. So start learning how to learn. There is a book about it that you can see on your screen. Go read it if you want to, but it's a very simple strategy of just Googling. Search up, look at the first 10 links on Google, or just use chat apps and get started today. What are you curious about? Ask yourself that question. Use your laptop, take all the distractions away, and learn things from scratch. And the fourth skill to master is decision making. In your day-to-day activities, you would get so many opportunities of doing things or not doing things. That's a decision that you have to make. Someone calls you out for a party. Someone calls you out for hanging out as a friend. Someone asks you to do a particular task. Will you do it? Will you put your precious time into it, or will you not? Will you choose to do something else, something more important to you? How do you make a decision? That's so important. Our life is all about the choices we make. The better we get at making choices, the better we will be as a human being. The more optimized, the more productive we will be as a human. And so the best thing you can do is to learn to make better decisions. And yet, this is the single most important thing which no one teaches you in college, in school, in your home, your parents, but it's such an important skill to have. There are so many people who procrastinate, and I think procrastination emerges from a lack of better decision making. People are just not able to make better decisions, and they end up procrastinating on the things that truly matter to them and end up wasting time and energy in things that don't. Some things might look important in the short term, and hence you prioritize that over others, and that is the biggest mistake that you can make. Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, they've all talked about how decision making is the single most important skill that they have to focus on as a leader, as a founder. And if you want to do something big in life, knowing when to prioritize what, when to decide what is more important to you is so crucial. Otherwise, you'll just be a distracted, confused 20-something-year-old who gets nothing done in their life and who's just running behind chores every single day. If you don't have a purpose in life, you will be handed one. That's how it works. If you don't know what to do, so the society will tell you what to do, your boss will tell you what to do, your peers will tell you what to do, your parents will tell you what to do, and you will just be left agreeing to what they have to say because you don't have a decision making ability of your own. So the best thing is to sit down and figure out what are the things that truly matter to me and how can I prioritize that over others. Maybe a Friday night party with friends is not as important as working on that side project which can get you the financial independence 2 years down the lane. Maybe it's a better idea for you to sit and learn a new skill on a Sunday morning than wasting away your Saturday night and sleeping the whole morning on Sunday. Just a maybe. Think about it. How can you let go of your short-term pleasures for your long-term gains? That is what decision making is all about. I hope this makes sense to you. If it does, hit the like button. And now for the last skill that you must learn in 2025, and that is negotiating and influence. I think they both go hand in hand. The best people that I've met in the last 5 years have been the people who are great at negotiating and they are great at influencing the other person. And let me tell you why that is important. In everything you do in your career, be it finding a job, finding a client that you want to work with, finding someone to work under as an apprentice, it's all about how can you effectively negotiate. As simple as going to a grocery store and negotiating a fair price for something that you want to buy. It's all about negotiating. And if you want to get better at it, you need to first have confidence in what you're seeing and understand what is the other best option. If you were to walk away from this deal, what else would you do? Do you have a best option, alternative that you can opt for if this thing doesn't work out? I have said no to lakhs and lakhs of rupees of deals in the last 5 years. Companies come to me and they're like, Ishan, promote this or talk about this, betting apps and so many things. I have said no to them. And they were like, okay, we'll pay you more. I said no to all of it because I knew my better alternative that, hey, I can work on my company. I can work with brands that I truly love and enjoy. For example, Apple. And that is more fulfilling to me. So I knew my better alternative. And that is the first rule of negotiation. There is an excellent book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss that I think everyone should learn about. There was also a podcast that I did with Ipsita Das, which should come soon on the channel if it hasn't already. And that is an excellent guide on learning how to communicate with confidence and also focus on how to negotiate effectively with anyone that you want to. So watch that if you haven't already. And the other part of the skill is to influence people. In the last 5 years, I've met some incredible founders and they've all had a ability to influence the other person. And that could be through talking about what they want the most and then making sure that what you want to sell them aligns with their goal. And it is also about your charisma, your riz, so as to call it. But this skill is so important in whatever that you're doing, the ability to get a group of people together and align them on a mission that, hey, I want you all to come together so that we can climb this mountain is all about influence. And you do that by learning to communicate with confidence and by creating that persuasion among people so that they come together and they go with you to that war. I was sitting right in front of Ritesh Agarwal of Oyo when he stood in front of everyone around in the Oyo townhouse and he was talking with such passion about all the details of the financials of Oyo and how can they do better. And everyone was so motivated to do better because he was honest and he was communicating with simplicity. He runs a company with hundreds and thousands of employees, yet he was sitting there right among them and communicating what they have to achieve and what it will take to get there. He was talking about all the numbers of the profitability that they want to get to, how much revenue they are making, what loss they are doing, how can they do better, and he was genuinely listening to people's needs and their desires. And that, my friends, is all that you need. And everyone around him was saying, Ritesh sir ka bhokal hai, right? That's literally what people were saying after he went back. And I think that's the best example of how can you influence people to come together with you on a mission. It's also important for you to influence people on social media. Having the ability to build up a following so that your distribution is valuable to other companies is a great thing you can do in 2025. I have made another video about YouTube mastery. I have made a separate video about personal branding, so go that and watch that if you have not already. But this skill is so important in everything that you want to do. If you want to go and do something big in life, learn how to walk together with people and how to motivate people to do things with you. How do you build a cult following? The amount of students who've come together to hear me watch at all of the college events I've done, the amount of students who've come together to learn how to level up themselves on this channel is insane. And that is all because I learned how to get people together, how to build a common cause so that everyone is motivated to achieve it. And that is the last skill that you should learn: negotiating and influence. I hope this video was important and insightful for all of you. Hit the like button. Check out the report by HubSpot in collaboration with Google if you have not already. It's absolutely free and bang on with insights. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe. Share this video with a friend. If you're still watching it in the comment section, I watched till the very end. If you have any questions, let me know below in the comment section. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.